The ZTV Sports Report is a production of ZTV and the School of Communication at the University of Akron. If you want to learn how to make award-winning TV programs, contact the School of Communication at 330-972-7600. If you have questions about ZTV programs, email us or visit us online.
Hi, today we're at the Student Union challenging students on the Akron Zips history. How many student athletes do we currently have?
Like a specific number? I have no clue.
I believe that we have about 60.
I got maybe 500.
I have no idea.
What is the name of our conference?
The MAC conference?
The MAC conference?
The MAC, Mid-American Conference.
Is it the top 12 or for what? Football or what?
The Akron conference?
How many teams do we currently have?
I want to say 15.
I believe it's 13 maybe.
I'll take guess 12 teams.
I'll say about 19.
In which year was the nickname Zips proposed?
1932.
2005.
In 19... Oh boy.
1941?
How many student athletes have become national champions in the individual performance?
35.
I would say about 30.
Not many.
200.
In which division does the University of Akron compete?
Division 1.
MAC.
Division?
Oh, division? I have no idea.
Division 1.
A Division 1.
Well, that's it for today. For the ZTV Sports Report, Ksenia.
Welcome back. We still have a lot to show you, but first, let's go ahead and take a look and see how our Zips are faring in the Mid-American Conference. Kalonna Davis takes us through the standings in Quick Zip.
Welcome to the third edition of Quick Zip, where we take a look at how our Akron Zips are ranking up in the Mid-American Conference. Of course, I'm your host, Kalonna Too Tall Davis. Let's go ahead and get this started. Rushing over to the MAC standings in football, we see our Zips sitting in last place in the East with a 1-6 overall record, while the Bowling Green Falcons are still carrying on first place with an overall record of 5-2, and the Buffalo Bulls are running up in second with 4-2. Next up, we kick it over to men's soccer to see that Bowling Green Falcons are in third place, while our Zips have moved down to second place because of their 2-1 conference record, and the Hartwick Hawks clinch first place with their 2-0 conference record. Now we look at women's soccer. Here, our Lady Zips are sitting at fourth with a 4-6-3 record in the East. Kent State is still scoring in first with an 8-5 overall record. And coming up in second, we have Miami of Ohio with a 5-6-2 record. And last, but certainly not least, we serve it over to volleyball. Sadly, our Lady Zips are in last place with a 6-11 overall record. The Ohio University Bobcats are taking over first place with a 15-3 overall record. And coming in second, we have the Bowling Green Falcons with 8-9. Once again, the Quick Zips game ball goes towards a soccer event, but this time it's going towards the women's soccer. Lonnie Smith deserves this one after an amazing game this past weekend against Ohio U's Bobcats. Lonnie had 7 shots, 4 shots on goal, 1 assist, and the first Akron goal that tied the game at a 1-1 midway through the first half of the game. Also, the play of the week goes to the women's game. Lonnie Smith kicking it in for an assist to her teammate senior Kelly De Niro for the goal that gave the Zips the 2-1 lead at the end of the first half. Once again, our host Sartaj had a chance to catch up with someone that knows a great deal about sports. This time, it was ESPN Cleveland producer David DiNatale, and he was able to tell us about the hopeful rise of the Mid-American Conference.
I've been covering the MAC Conference really going back to 1993, so you're talking about 20 years now, going back to when I was a college student at Bowling Green State University, and I knew I wanted to get into broadcasting, and you figure out real quick that if you're going to do it and you go to Bowling Green State University, you better know a lot about the Mid-American Conference.
The MAC has certainly had some woes in the beginning, but it was one sport that propelled the conference forward.
The MAC conference in football, there was always only usually one good team. I always thought with basketball was that was really where I came to really appreciate the conference, because there was always seemed like in that time, you're talking mid-90s, every team in the MAC had one elite player that went on to the NBA. You know, if you were Bowling Green where I was, you talked about Antonio Daniels, who ended up being a top 10 NBA draft pick. Miami University, they had Wally Zerbiak. You know, Eastern Michigan had Earl Boykins. So everybody had a really good player. And then I really think as far as a basketball conference, the MAC really took off then.
While success is there, the MAC suffers from little exposure to the national media, and it's something that the conference is trying to fix.
The MAC signed a TV deal a couple of years ago with ESPN, and now you have virtually a game of the week on national TV for the entire month of November. That's huge. I think it's one of the main reasons why a team like Northern Illinois was able to rise through the ranks last season and make it to a BCS bowl game. Well, because people nationally got a chance to see them. That doesn't happen 20 years ago or even 10 years ago, but it happened now. And
with the national coverage at their hand, the conference has also made some noise in the past few years against big competition.
Bowling Green played Alabama to a virtual deadlock. Bowling Green played Ohio State tough for 3 quarters. Akron can go up to Ann Arbor and play Michigan and play them to an even matchup. I mean, I know Michigan got the win, but Akron played extremely well in that ball game. When you get to the NCAA tournament, as we all know, anything can happen. You get a team like Ohio University that can make it to the Sweet 16 and beat a team like North Carolina. In a 40-minute game, anything can happen. We're seeing it all over where mid-level BCS schools are having problems beating MAC schools.
Growth has certainly been seen in the Mid-American Conference, and with many schools stepping up to further grow the conference into a bigger, better powerhouse.
I think the future of the MAC's very good. I have a lot of respect for John Steinbrecher, the commissioner, and his staff and the work that they've done to try to raise the profile of the conference. I think the conference has nowhere to go but up. I think it's going to continue to have sustained growth.
The MAC conference has certainly come a long way since its successful beginnings, and with the level of competition increasing, the future is certainly looking bright for the conference. For the ZTV Sports Report, I'm Sartaj.
Sadly, this wraps up this edition of the Quick Zip. But don't be too sad. Just tune in next time for another look at Akron's ranking in the MAC. But for now, it's back to Sartaj for more of the ZTV Sports Report.
Thanks, Kalonna. We have many programs awaiting you here on ZTV Channel 45-1, such as the hilarious Akron After Hours daily at 3:30 and 9. Also, if you love geek culture, be sure to check out Goofing Off daily at 4 and 9:30. If you want to know the latest news around the University of Akron, be sure to watch Lights, Camera, Akron daily at 2:30 and 8. The University of Akron has a lot of athletic programs, but also offers some sports for regular students to participate in here on campus. Intramurals are a huge aspect for sports in any university. This week, we take a look at how flag football intramurals are faring.
Intramural football has become incredibly popular here at the University of Akron, and its popularity only continues to grow. With more teams and more players competing each year, there is no denying the passion that UA students have for intramural football. Well, I want to know, what is the best part of playing intramural football?
Definitely the fans. They make the atmosphere just amazing. Everybody comes out.
I would have to say getting to be competitive against the other sororities with my sisters.
How has your team played thus far?
I mean, we're doing things right, we're doing things wrong. There's always things we can fix, but we're playing good so far.
Oh, we are great. We've won both games. We just mercied a team.
What do you think it'll take for your team to make the playoffs?
Just keep doing what we're doing, fixing what we're doing wrong.
You sound very confident. Are you confident in your team's abilities?
I am so confident in us.
And as you can see, the passion for intramural football here at the University of Akron runs deep. And with playoffs right around the corner, the competition continues to heat up. For ZTV Sports, I'm Hunter Lang.
That's 2 segments in the books for this week's ZTV Sports Report, but we still got one more segment left before we say goodbye. When we come back, we have yet another edition of Matchpoint and highlight another Akron rival and another edition of Know Thy Enemy. Stay right there wherever you are. We'll be right back.